this.
This is Michael Charles, and you are listening to Lend Me Your Ears with Tony Rockwell on 3NRG.
Yes, that was Michael Charles with Crosscut Saw. And just by chance, we have the gentleman here tonight with us live in the studio. Michael Charles. How are you, Michael?
How you doing, Anthony?
I'm good, thanks, Michael. Welcome back to Australia.
Thanks for having me.
And it's great to have you in the studio. We'll have a good little talk, and we'll play some of your music tonight.
Oh, I thought I couldn't come to Melbourne and not sit in the studio with you.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And we're gonna have some great stuff. We're gonna play some really good music. And one question I'm sure everyone out there is waiting on: when are you going to tour?
Well, that's the reason why I'm sitting here. I sneaked into Australia to do some business. We're actually planning a tour for next year. It looks like it's going to happen probably within June and July. And we're going to start down in the Melbourne area and work our way up to Cairns, hopefully. So it's hoping to do a nice long tour next year. I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be great. That'll be terrific. And don't worry, everyone. We'll be the first to know, and I'll let you know. And it's going to be a great tour. If you haven't seen Michael live, it's something to check out. And I'll tell you one thing. There's a great DVD that Michael's got out, and it's available through Newmarket.
Through Newmarket Music,
yeah.
Right here in Melbourne.
Yeah, and it's 2 shows from Chicago.
Yep, 2
from the
shows. JBTV, Jerry Bryan,
yeah.
Legendary Jerry Bryan.
And it's fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
It is. It's fantastic to see you and the band just getting into it, and it's just brilliant. And also, the last album that you recorded was Connected, of course.
Right.
With
Majesty. Yeah.
Any chance of something else like that happening?
You know, the whole thing of that was to have something really different, and I just happened to mesh our music together, and I don't think you know, it's one of those things you do. It won't happen again, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always other things to do.
Yeah.
You know, meanwhile, I just keep doing the Michael Charles thing, and hopefully something else to be another surprise in there somewhere. It's just, you know, I'm not a hip hop artist, but it was nice to work with Majesty.
Something
we
different.
got through it. It was a good album. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, very good.
And I'll just leave it at that, I guess, for now. We toured with him, as you know, and who knows what will come up next.
And of course the Under the Cover series. We played Crosscut Saw, which is off the 3rd disc, and there's another 2 discs you were saying.
There's another 2 discs that come out, and then then there's actually an EP that's coming out, and all the series is going to be all in a box with some other special things in there, and so by the end of this year that series will be done. It was supposed to be a kind of a quick series, and it's just more people wanted more stuff, and it's just prolonged. I think I've been working on it for about 2.5 years or something. So, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's time to do a whole new album again. You know.
Oh, good. That's what I'm hanging out for. Another great album.
Yeah, thank you.
And talking about that, I'm going to play a track. This is a great track off the Michael Charles album called "Home Through the Streets," which was your second solo
album in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're taking me back there.
And this is one track. He didn't play it like this while he was in Australia. You were here till 1990?
It was a couple of years ago, I guess. Yeah.
No, they're talking about when you were here before you went to Chicago. That
was
about 1990,
yeah,
wasn't
it? I moved to the States in 1990. You're right.
Yeah. I remember
so you know better than me.
Yeah,
So.
I remember the last performance you did was...
Falcon's Nest?
No, it was the Royal Children's Hospital.
Oh, okay.
With Pain and Misery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, don't worry.
See, all my career just starts blending together.
It
so
just blends in, yeah. Anyway, this is a track off the second solo album, and it's a bonus track. This is a bonus track, and I love this version of this song. This is called Time Just Keeps Calling. Home Through the Streets. So, is that available here in Australia?
Sure is.
It is, through Newmarket, yeah. Good.
Or you can just go on the net and buy it through
yeah,
Amazon or whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Or CD Baby's another great one.
The world's kind of small now.
Yeah. We're going to talk about one of your albums. It's a brilliant album, and I played it here Last month, every third Friday, I play an album.
Okay.
And this month, actually tonight, was supposed to be Bob Dylan.
Oh.
But that's all right because it worked out perfectly, having Michael in the studio. And it turns out that next Friday night is Bob Dylan's birthday, next Friday, which is the 24th. So it works perfectly to play it then, so that's what I'm going to play. But I'm talking about My Shadow, and this is your crossover album. And is the crossover box available still, or...?
That was made very limited, and it was made to be sold just at shows. But there were some available. You could buy them off my website. I can't say if there's any left or not. I don't know, but the best way to find out is go to the website and write to my management or agent, whoever you can get through to, and see if there are. If there are, yeah, sure, you can have it.
And that's michaelcharles.us.
.us, michaelcharles.us.
So there you go. Jot that down, michaelcharles.us.
Just go on to contacts, and there's several people you can contact and get it through any one of them.
No worries. And this is, as we were talking last month, you from Australia, you went to America, and you decided to release an album, and this is a brilliant album. I love this album.
I appreciate that.
And it's got a couple of tracks here, which I remember you playing here. Crawling on the Floor is one of them, which is a brilliant track. And there's some really good songs on this. And I noticed, not on every album, but on a couple of albums, you do a cover.
I've only, until the Under the Cover series, there was only 2 covers I ever recorded. And one was Nobody Knows When You're Down and Out.
Yeah.
And on Hard Days, Long Nights I did Drifting Blues. They were the
It's
only 2 covers in my whole
Yeah.
career. And but on stage I would throw a few covers in every now and then. Not a lot, as you know. But there'd be people saying, "Oh man, I love that version of After Midnight. Or I love that version of Hey Joe or Going Down. What album is it on?" And my crew would say, "It doesn't exist. It's just a live thing." So I got this silly idea to just record these songs and bring them out as singles. I thought, bringing a cover album to me just didn't appeal. I wanted something a little different, so I thought I'll bring it out like old school. Remember the 45s? So let's bring out a series of singles, and then I thought I'd do 2 or 3, and then it's just kept going and going and going. It's been about 2.5 years, and there's another one coming out real soon, next month. You'll be one of the first to get it.
No worries, we'll play it here, worries.
Then there'll be another one coming out after that this year, and that should wrap up, and then I'll be working on a new album. So, but it's been a fun project. And I don't, as you know, I'm sure you've read it, all the artwork on the covers are pictures from the fans from different shows.
It's a great idea.
So it was put together for the fans, and it was a fun thing. But I'm ready to work on a new album.
Well, one of the covers that you did back in the 80s, when I first heard it, the first time I saw you was at the Red House. The
Red House.
Down in Collingwood, Joseph Street, Collingwood. Yeah. And that's
by the way, is it still there?
No, it's the pub's still there, but it's under the name called the Barleycorn now.
Oh, okay.
And I remember walking into the place, and there was a long table with a few people, and there was me and a friend and another 2 couples, and we sat down, and you get on stage, and I'm looking around thinking, geez, there's hardly anyone here, not realising too that, in matter of fact, you're only playing to 6 people, because the table is your family and friends, which I found out at the end, because I finished up buying Home Through the Streets, The Wind, and I bought the EP, which you autographed for me, thank you, and I bought the 2 cassettes.
Well, that night. We're talking early days.
Yeah. And one song that really stuck in my head, and I'm driving home and I'm trying to think, I know I've heard that song before, and it was Wonderful Tonight.
Oh, okay.
And it wasn't until about 2 weeks later, by chance, I was playing Eric Clapton, and that song, that's where I've heard it before. And you've got to put that on one of your albums at least.
It may be.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see what time's got. We'll see what appears.
You've done a terrific version of that, and even the extended version of Long Nights and Hard Days.
Oh,
I love it. That's brilliant. I love that.
I appreciate it, Anthony.
And I've got it on the Try Other Key. Of course, it's only the parts 1 and 2 on that.
Okay.
And you added part 3 for the
Yeah.
compilation, which was a good idea. And then you did the compilation Recall, which was your first 10 years in the States.
First 10 years in the States, and as you know, Hard Days, Long Nights was the first 10
10
years
years
of my
here,
recording in Australia. So it's, I think we're coming close for the next one.
Yeah. And what was it like being in the States, recording in the States, doing shows in your early days there?
It was a blast because when I first went to the States, I went there with the red carpet, you know, being invited out by the one and only Buddy Guy and his management, and so when I first got there, 2 weeks, get off the plane, get picked up, we got the red carpet going on. I mean, I got to meet and work with the late and great Junior Wells and Eddie Clearwater, and you know, just the list goes on and on. Sugar Blue, all the great blues players. I had their records at home, and here I am, face to face with these people. I'm just a little guy from Melbourne, Australia, and I'm like, you know, do I deserve to be here or what? But it was a great honour. So I got through the 2 weeks, and it was great. But when I came back to Australia, I thought, man, that was just something else. And my career here was pretty good, but I thought I'm going to go and test the waters out in the States a little bit more. So I'll go there for 6 months or see what happens. And 6 months turned into a year, and 2 years, and 3 years, and 21 years later, here I am.
And we have Michael Charles in the studio live. So, Michael, tell me a little bit about the recording of The Wind.
The Wind, well, that was all recorded at Dex Audio, Newmarket Music, and that's the last album that I recorded in Australia before moving to the US. So it's and that's why it became together in that big box.
Crossover box,
That was the last. The other one was kind of started here, then moved and finished it in the States. So that's it's kind of I got a soft spot for that album.
And of course, there's a couple of tracks, isn't there, that are bonus tracks on the CD.
Yeah, there's I think they put on there the Running Wild and
Pain and Misery,
which were originally on the Hard Days, Long Nights disc. So when they released that particular CD in the US, they threw those extra bonus cuts on there.
This came out before Home Through the Streets in the States, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.